any wins that you have, what's happening in your market. No one has
I don't
anything else?
have, well, I got limited success. I've been sick for a week and I was on a cruise on the week before that. So not a lot got accomplished. That's why I haven't been on the calls the last 2 weeks. Um, but I did manage to um, do for my own research. I did a kind of a focus group, a meeting with a group of seniors to try to, to just get a firsthand understanding of some of the things that um, they dealt with moving into assisted living. So
Mhm.
I'll take that as a win.
That is absolutely. I love that. That is, congratulations. Well, and I hope you're feeling better. I hope you did have a good cruise, though.
Oh, we had a good cruise. Except of course it was cold that week. That was the first week of February, and I was on the week before, and you were talking about having snow over the weekend, and of course we left that Monday, and it was 45 degrees out of Port Canaveral, and then went to the Bahamas, and it was only about 65 degrees. It wasn't certainly wasn't swimming pool or beach weather, and
No,
then we couldn't get to one port. We couldn't get to the private island because the winds were so high that the ship couldn't dock. So,
no.
and then my brother-in-law comes on the cruise with us, and he's been sick with an upper respiratory infection. Guess what I got? So
Oh, that's the worst.
yeah,
Oh,
my
I'm
wife's
so
got
sorry.
bronchitis, and she's been sleeping for about 5 days, and I just had this upper respiratory, so I'm feeling better now.
Oh, I'm glad to
But
hear it.
occasionally I cough.
That totally stinks. I'm glad to hear it. No, absolutely.
So I'm
Um,
way behind in what I wanted to have accomplished. So I feel like I've lost so much time that I don't want to, just have to start from where I am or catch up
yeah.
from where I am, and without trying to, you know, it's
Well,
going to
you
be hard to
don't,
make up
yeah,
the ground. I'll
you
just do
don't
what I'm
want to
doing.
get like don't get overwhelmed.
Yeah.
So, many of you know I have been out since the beginning of February. I had a surgery and I have good days and I have bad days. And it's nothing that I elected to do, kind of snuck up on me. I had about a week and a half to prepare. And I am a huge advocate for folks to prepare. I prepared my team. Um, my listings were all covered with my agents. I did intro text with them. I don't tell my clients what's happening. It's not a concern that they need to worry about. Their concern is just getting that property sold, right? So I let them know, hey, we're dividing and conquering. I'm introducing you to an agent on my team. They're going to be helping with a couple of open houses that are coming up, and I introduce them on a group text so that we're all together. If they prefer text, if not, it's a phone call or in person because everyone's a little bit different with their tech. The other thing is I looped in some of my bod members, not all of them, and it comes with a comfort level that you have. However, the day before I had surgery, I received 3 referrals from one funeral home. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. Like, this is a joke. But the thing is you have to embrace it. And I looped her in on what was happening. They weren't urgent. So, we were able to touch base with them afterwards. And while I've been out with the help of my team, we have signed 3 listing agreements in the past week, got one under contract, and I also picked up a buyer yesterday. So as long as you combat that overwhelm, because I feel like I only work maybe 3 or 4 hours a day right now. That's all I can do, right? And when I say my work, I'm doing lesson plans for you all. Like we have a great class tomorrow that we're doing. Um, I'm building out your social media for those of you who are members. You get kind of plug and play social media. So I do it about a week out right now. And then I have a team to run and clients to service, right? And so I just always tell everyone, start from the most priority and just see how you can prioritize everything and who you can help delegate to bring in. For you guys who may be solo agents, it's always great to partner with someone in your office who can help you with lock boxes, inspection reports, photography, those types of things that you can, in a sense, have someone else step in for you if you need to, especially if you're like David, who just came back from a trip and was sick. He doesn't want to go and make everyone else sick, right? Because all of that's contagious. So it's just making sure that we're not pushing ourselves too much, because then you'll have that burnout and then you're no good to yourself or to any of your referral partners. Um, I think that's very important for us to give ourselves grace, especially when you're learning so much right now in our niche. Grace is something that I have embraced this past month because I'm always go, 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 go. And I don't always have to be go, 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 go. We have other tools right here at our fingertips to help lighten the load. And you have to be able to embrace them, accept the change, and kind of move forward. Um, has anyone else experienced any overwhelm with learning the senior niche right now, implementing things that any of our coaches and co-founders have been sharing with you?
Felicia, my biggest challenge is there are so many great nuggets that I need to just pick one nugget and do it well and focus on it and then move on to the next one. And so at first I was just trying to do every great idea that came across, and then I was accomplishing nothing. So
Yeah.
that's my greatest challenge.
But that's also a very common challenge with
Mhm.
everyone. Um, the shiny new penny, you see the ads. Oh, if you want to get 10 listings this month, follow this plan. And then you listen to the plan and you're like, what did I just listen to? Right? We all have seen those. It's kind of like bait. It's like clickbait. And they say, hey, let's do this, and you'll get this, and you're going to get all of these sellers, and you're going to make sure that you're going to have a pipeline that is full. Yes, working with seniors in the senior niche, if you do it properly, you could be recession proof. But you got to pick one thing and start with it. So if you're focused on making your social media great, and if you are a member, I highly recommend take a look at some of the things that I do for you. You don't have to copy it verbatim, but it gives you an idea. We follow the holiday and the healthcare observances holiday, and tying that into real estate type social media post so that you're become relevant to the folks who are watching you, because your partners are watching you, as well as your competition, as well as your adult child and the senior themselves, right? Or a loved one. And so creating that authority online, if that is the direction that you want to go in, um, then you should work on that for a minimum of 2 weeks, consistently posting every single day. I will share with you a success story that I have. For the past 6 months, I've been really pushing my social media. And I was telling the team on our Tuesday board meeting call that we have, I don't know what I did, but something popped online. Something I did on some forum somewhere popped. I'm at 111,000 views right now. And I'm cracking up because they asked me if I wanted to monetize. I made $2 this week. And I think it's hysterical because I text my daughter and I'm like, we're rich. I made $2 this week off of something I posted on Facebook and I still don't know what it is. But I definitely will always show like I spiked on here, and social media is important to me as one of my pillars. And we talk about pillars all the time here. And what are your pillars that you're focused on? 31% of my leads every year come in from social media. So if I don't focus on social media, I'm going to lose that. I'd like to grow that to more. But my social media also consists of LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and the low-hanging fruit, TikTok. I'm killing it on TikTok right now. So, and that's just what I showed you was just from Facebook. But if you start showing the algorithm, especially on Facebook, because I kept getting messages like this, we loved your content. It's very relevant. We're showing it to more people. And I kept seeing these comments come in January. And I didn't know what that meant because I've never had them before. I'm not here to teach you the guru of social media. I'm here to teach you what I've done and how successful I've been with it. So I'm just sharing this with you as we become more educational focused. Facebook did tell me they'd like to see me do more lives, which I'm always hesitant on doing because I don't like to fumble, right? It says it would like to see my face on more posts. Okay, I'll start doing that. So it's like if you start incorporating the things that they tell you to, if you listen to your back office, your Meta Suite, when you have your business account, it tells you when to post. It says tomorrow at 7 p.m. is your strongest time. Listen to it. The other thing that I started embracing was when I did put a reel up, even if I had music to it, whatever Facebook chose for it, or Instagram or TikTok, I just let it do its thing. And I muted the original audio for music, and that skyrocketed my views. They do this because they're trying to push out things that are going to trend within the algorithm. So it's like, take advantage of this free stuff. Like all this is free right now. Listen to it. I'm giving you kind of little nuggets today on this because I've heard from a few of you in the past, like I am posting, I'm doing all the things. I'm not seeing the output that I want or feel I deserve. Mm-hmm. If you post something and you only get 20 views, this is another thing that I learned, delete it and repost it. Nobody needs to know that you reposted it. If it just fell flat, and this is what I've been learning, that's okay. Delete it, reword it. Maybe you're writing. Hashtags are no longer a thing. They're actually now looking at the verbiage that you're using within your description. So your keywords have to be in there. And if you want help, go to Gemini, go to Grok, go to chat, say, I would like some keywords in this post to help me get a larger reach on Facebook. It will tell you. So use these tools as a way to do it. When we're working in the senior niche, there's a lot of folks who are jumping in and diving in on this right now. It's great. It's exciting. It's growing. But you want to make sure that now that you've been establishing yourself in this way, that you're getting that reach that you want. Does this resonate with anyone?
Yeah.
Kind of a new world for me. I've in other parts of my business, I've got some automated posting going on through a company provided service. But I'm going to have to handle this myself, and that's a whole new world.
It is, and you can you can always see if you can have someone help you to get you started, an intern. There's a lot of interns out there. It's February. What is college over? My college parents, let me think, because my daughter's still in high school.
Like
May.
May.
It'll be
May,
May.
right? May. Start putting the feelers out for who could help, who wants to help as being a summer intern who's got some marketing experience and doing an internship for you, even if you aren't paying them a ton or it's unpaid or paid, whatever you decide is going to be the best for you. I will tell you, I did hire a VA to do my social media. It didn't work out as well as I had hoped. And I've taken my social media back over. But you got to kind of figure out that rhythm, right? And it should feel like you, it should be authentic. It should, sound like you, type of a deal. But when we're in this social world right now within the senior niche, the reason why I bring this up is my referral partners, my bod, they watching me and they tell me what they like and they tell me what they don't like. They're very vocal. And they'll tell me when I sound like a home care and when I may sound more healthcare focused rather than transition expert focused, right? And I like that. And that's what you want. You want to build that trust. You want to listen to them because, at the end of the day, everyone perceives things a little bit differently. However, when it comes time for your referral sources, another thing that, I have to start reincorporating within my social, which I've dropped off a little bit on because the holidays were so busy, is doing community spotlights, spotlighting a partner that you work with downsizing, with move management, home care, home health, senior living spotlight. You're going to ask them if they would join you. The easiest way to do this is, my favorite way, I should say, is on a Zoom just like this. You record it. You're going to have some preempted questions that you're going to ask them. Ask them what questions they'd like to be answered to. And like what their clients ask them the most questions of. And then you want it to be between 5 to 10 minutes, no longer. When you have that, right, you have that done, you can post it. You can post it on your YouTube and on your social media pages, right? But now you have this 5 to 10 minute block of time that you can use a tool. There's one called Vizard, like wizard with a V, or Opus Clips. And when you upload, we do this. So if you've seen our little short reels after one of these LFG calls, we use Opus Clips. It will give you, Jessica, what is it, like the top 20, sometimes 40 clips that you can put out as reels. You can edit them if you need to. It'll also do a post generator for you, and you can click which social media you want to put it on. So take, for instance, if you meet with a move manager, you're going to have so many awesome nuggets that they're going to talk about that your base is going to love on your social media, your followers, right? And you could take those clips. So I normally only do like maybe 2 to 4 if I'm going to do it for them, right? Because you don't want to like flood your stuff with it. And every day you can drip that little community spotlight that you did and say in your post to watch the full video, or check the comments below to watch the full video. And then you have a link in the comments. Don't put links in your post anymore. It kills your algorithm. Don't do it. And because it'll tell you. to improve this, you have to remove the hyperlink in your actual description of your post. You always want to have it in the first comment. And now you just took that 15 minutes of time that took you to do that, and you have like a week's worth of social media. So they always say don't post and ghost. Well, now you don't have to. And you can have different pieces of that. Now you're spotlighting a partner this entire week, or maybe it's 2 weeks that you want to spotlight them, right? And now you've elevated them within this niche, within this market. And now you're bringing more to them than probably another partner has in the past. So it becomes that value proposition, right? So if you work with me, I'm going to elevate you on social media just as much as I'm on social media, because everyone is trying to look for, how do I get to clients faster? How do I close more business? And how do we grow? So this is just one little caveat that you can do. You can also have a segment on your website, a page that has community spotlights to the full videos with kind of like a little description next to it. Sort of like, you could use this in your newsletters as well. Y'all have seen like, here's the YouTube video and the description next to it. And you can spotlight them in the newsletter that you do, if you do one. You can, like I said, so yeah.
Just wondering if you were to maybe be really good at planning and say you did a move manager and then maybe you did a probate attorney or an elder law attorney or somebody else that's on your bod, right? And so maybe you have done those kind of back to back within a week or so. You could actually take those different clips and kind of alternate. Like one day you're doing the move manager, the next day you're highlighting a portion of your interview with the attorney and kind of, and that could really drag it out, but it not be the same thing every day. Does that make sense?
You can, but the thing is that what I've also learned, and you have to try this out to see how your audience responds to it. Building on something sometimes has more of an impact for you. So when you build that out and we're spotlighting one kind of segment at a time, it can yield you a little bit more.
Okay.
But if you're going to switch, maybe do like a Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Right. That's what I was
with
thinking.
things in the middle, so that you're not like, what are they talking about today? Right. And so you're trying to create.
Just didn't want to be overload, like it was constant. Oh,
Correct.
here she is again with that move manager,
And it's going to tell you I like Vizard. We also, Opus Clips are really good too. It's going to say this is a 10 out of a 10 relevant. This is a 9 out of 10 relevance. And it'll give you a rating, and you could listen to it. Sometimes the list, when I listen to what they picked, it really makes zero sense. Just going to tell you right now, I don't understand what you think this is a 10 out of a 10 for. So I put the thumbs down on it so that it can learn an algorithm for me as well. I'm like, this is no relevance to anything. But these are just tools just to help fine tune things for you, and also give you something to post on a daily basis. If you're not posting on a daily basis, you have to build up to posting on a daily basis and use your schedule for it. I post sometimes 2 to 3 times a day. And it just really depends on what's happening and what's going on. I have my scheduled posts for once a day, always out there. I try and schedule everything out a week or 2 weeks or as far out in advance as I can, come up with things creatively. And then I do things in real time. Yesterday I went to a listing appointment and I posted on my TikTok about Southwest Florida and golfers, right? And these beautiful golf communities that we have happening down here, because Naples is the golf capital of the world. Also the pickleball capital of the world too, if you didn't know. So we have a lot of different things that happen. We have over 96 professional golf courses in our town. So it can be a little overwhelming for buyers who are coming down to look for golf. And then there's equity golf and non-equity golf and 5-year wait lists and 2-year wait lists. So you have to, it's a whole niche within itself. But you have to just try and get that on a good schedule for yourself. And I'm trying to give you all some tangible tips that can help you, especially with your referral partners. So if you are part of our membership tomorrow, I'm going to be talking to you about your referral partners, how often you need to touch base with them, when do you bring a pop by, how many touches do you need to do with them, and how to grow your partners, because I use an ABC system with that, a C to a B and a B to an A, and how you're going to grow that. And then we're also going to touch base on partnership fizzle out, because it does happen. And you want to make sure that you keep those partnerships strong and have those folks continue to funnel leads into you just as much as you funnel into them as well, because it's got to be a somewhat equal partnership, and ideas and ways to grow that even when you don't necessarily have a client referral for them. Because sometimes they're not going to have a real estate referral for us, and sometimes we're not going to have an accounting referral for a CPA, you know? So it's just different ideas to help us continue down this path as you're building your bod. And for those of you who have touched base with Paul on this, it's really important to build that bod the right way and have that great partnership for you, reciprocal partnership and rules of engagement read. And then from there, you just keep growing with them, and you're going to see that journey kind of take flight, which is really exciting. Questions or thoughts?
Felicia, you were talking about how you were getting feedback, like you should show your face more, or, you know, some of that. Where is that coming from?
Facebook. I get a message.
Wow. Okay.
Yep. When you go into, I get an alert. Not a
Wow.
message.
Okay. That's never happened to me.
I
Okay.
get an alert, or because I have everything kind of turned on right now. When you go to your professional dashboard and on the home page and insights, it
Yeah.
will tell me on your growth, continue your weekly progress, things that you should do. And it's going to tell me, like, I've gotten messages from them that say, like, a little thing will pop up. You just put out some great content. We're going to share this with a larger audience for you.
Wow. Okay.
And I get that as like a notification that pops up. So make
Okay.
sure all your notifications are turned on, because like I said, that started happening in January for me.
So I just went to my professional dashboard. I have to be honest, it's been probably a week or so, and it says you're eligible to start earning with content monetization.
Da, 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 da. Sign up.
Wow. I too could get $2.
Get your $1.50.
I got that on mine as well. I don't know
Yes.
why.
I had no idea.
Who cares? You know, it's silly. Like I told my husband's like, "Are you really think you're going to make a ton of money with social media?" And I go, "You know what? No, I don't. I'm not going to quit my day job and be like TikTok shopper." But at the same point in time, I think it's kind of cool. And I'm like, and I'll use it for coffee, right? Why not?
Yeah.
Use it to boost ads if I wanted to. It's kind of cool, and it's an interesting thing right now, but it will tell you. It's very, very intuitive. And even on TikTok, I get messages of why they liked my posts that I just posted and what I could have done to improve it.
Wow.
So you just want to make sure all all the notifications are turned on. You could do that in your settings for anything that you have. And you also have to understand, I'm bored right now. I can't work that much. And like I had mentioned to you all before, I'm working about 3 hours a day. and then I have to like turn my brain off. What do I turn my brain on to? Social media. As I'm scrolling and watching TV and trying to relax to get well so that I can pound the pavement potentially next month. So I'm on social media probably about 10 hours a day right now, it feels. And I'm just like, scrolling. So it's just something that I have noticed, because I've been kind of cooped up for the past 2 weeks, going stir crazy for someone who's always like on the go.
Felicia, we have a question in the
Yeah.
chat. Donna wants to know, how do we get this to turn on?
In what way? I'm not
I'm,
sure I understand the question.
you have to have your page set for professional mode for you to become monetized, right?
Correct. Yeah. Well, your page, if your personal page, let me see, hold on one second.
I think
Your
that's
personal page can be turned into a creative page where you change it. Because if you only have one page on Facebook, so if you put all your content on one page, right, you could change that to make sure that it's more a professional content page for it, and then you could utilize that.
right.
Your business pages are already going to be set up for it. Now, when you have more than one account, they link, is what I found out this past week. Facebook links those in your reach, which is very interesting. Not for your insights, but they link it to show, like, how do I explain this? So if you post something on your personal page and then you go from your business page and like it, it doesn't really count because they know that you're linked. Does that make sense? It's a little bit different, but you do have to have a professional page. It can't be personal, as far as I know.
So, I have a personal and I have a professional. So I put a lot of personal stuff on just my personal, but my professional stuff for the majority goes to my professional page, but I share it to my personal page.
Mhm.
Should going into this new niche, should I create a separate one or should I just use my professional, existing real estate professional to then start bringing more of the senior into it?
You want managing multiple pages can be very challenging. And so the best way to do it is you're incorporating this into your real estate business, right? Okay. So it becomes another arm of your business that you have. So just like if you were a stager, if you staged properties, you would have my real estate, my staging, you have your senior relocation type business transitions, and then your buy sells and investors, right? So you have it as an arm. One thing that I like doing instead of sharing to your personal page, because it depends on what the post is. If you have a post that you're going to want to put on your personal page, is invite yourself as a collaborator. When you invite yourself as a collaborator, it helps to boost that and it shows seamlessly across.
Invite myself as a collaborator on which page? On the
You
professional
can do
page?
that if you're posting on your professional page, where you can tag people, and you can do this on Instagram and on Facebook, where you go to tag, it will say tag options here and
Okay.
invite collaborators. So I collaborate with a lot of my partners that way, especially if I'm putting their community spotlight on. I
Mhm.
want them to share it. And it's easier if they share it from your original post because it's going to boost your reach
Gotcha.
for you.
I see. Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Hi,
So that,
Felicia. If it's okay if I add to that to maybe
sure.
help because I have a personal page as well as a professional page as well, and it can be kind of daunting. But what I do is I'll post from my professional page, and then I'll save my post to my phone, and then I'll post it as a story on my personal page. So that will allow people to see my story on my personal page of my professional business. And then sometimes I'll type inside the story, I'll say, like and or subscribe to my business page to get people from my personal site over to my business. Because the ultimate goal is I do want to just shut down my Instagram personal page because it's too much. So
Yeah.
I'm kind of moving people over to my business page by sharing stories on my personal page.
Yeah, it does. It becomes too much. And when you start doing that, that's where the overwhelm comes. So I pre-plan always on my business page. I'm sharing how I work with my my clients, what I'm doing. I'm not just doing a just sold post and forget it, right? I'm talking about my just sold post and like putting a story to it. Like the one I just posted the other day, the family moved to Indiana. We had a lot of moving parts. We had flood damage. We had a water pipe break. You know, we had all these different things happen that I was the key person for them because they lived in Indiana, not in Southwest Florida. And the seller themselves moved into memory care, which, you know, I was very, I normally don't write memory care. I put assisted living in there because people don't need to know everyone's, you know, story. HIPAA, you know, I come from the world of HIPAA. And so, you know, I let folks in a little bit and I give them a glimpse of what can happen during a senior transition real estate experience. So that's something that's really important for you to be able to showcase that too, within your social. And thank you so much for sharing that, Frankie, because it's a lot, especially as we're trying to grow our business. And all right, you answered all those questions here. Perfect. Any other questions that anyone might have before we kind of wrap up for the day? Did anyone have any ahas? Did anything kind of resonate with you? Is this redundant information?
I like everything you shared. I've just kind of started dipping my toe in, to be honest. I just made a transition off of a huge team, and so I've been focused on redoing all my marketing and new website and all that. So I haven't been up to date as much as I wanted to. I did do the monthly membership thing. I'm starting the modules that you have. So I'm still very wet behind the ears, I guess you'd say. But I, you know, made a list of our senior facilities, all different types, know, you know, which one planning tours to go and see what they're all about and that sort of thing. Trying to make a list of possible people to be on the bod. So I'm taking all that in. It's just taking me a little while to really get up and going as far as now. I do have a marketing director and he does almost all of my social media, but he has been also doing research on downsizing. Although I did have somebody recently, she has been in senior health care for years and managed an assisted living home. And she came over and spent some time with me because she also does real estate. She said that the new keyword is not downsizing, it's resizing. It had a
I
more
like that.
positive connotation to it.
Right sizing, right sizing has been around for a while. I like resizing too. I like that.
Yeah, yeah.
I love that.
Yeah,
And
so
it's just like acuity care is the new buzzword of 2026 as well. And, you know, when you have folks that can help mentor you like that, she's got the same background that I have with running assisted livings. It's huge for you, especially within your local market. You
Mhm.
can tap into that and they could give you a little bit of ideas. Just make sure that when you do write your notes, because I know a lot of folks write your notes, go back to them, see what's attainable for right now,
Right.
what's attainable for the future, and kind of not overwhelm yourself with everything. And if you're following a step-by-step process, it makes things a lot easier because you'll be able to, when you do some of the modules, you listen to this, you go do this. You
Right.
listen, you go do it. If you try and snowball it all together, I have a coaching student right now who is doing one-on-one coaching every week. And by time we would meet, there was no time for them to get all of the things they wanted to get done within that week. We had to stretch it out to every 2 weeks, because everyone processes things differently, everyone implements things differently, and then we all have full-time jobs, that we are
Right.
managing, and families and whatnot too, right? And so you just have to set those expectations as a clear pattern. I'm a really big proponent of making a marketing calendar and making sure that you're doing the things that you want to do. I have my big ass calendar up and it's planned for the whole year so that I know, what is happening for birthdays and vacations and conferences that I've committed to already, right? So it's like we want to build around that and not overwhelm ourselves, because I've had to pull back on in January and February on some things because of my health. I couldn't do 17 health fairs that I was supposed to speak at for every single one of them. I did one in January and I'll do one in February, and that's it. And my one is next week in February, because it's just, I have to know my limitations right now. So just don't overwhelm yourself with the excitement of the shiny new penny. Implementation and steady growth is better than you being overwhelmed. And especially when we talk about going and doing lunch and learns and health fairs or expos or whatever the case may be, there's a lot of follow-up that comes with them, and there's a lot of questions that come. So you want to make sure that you're prepared. So everyone is on the right path. Lisa, I'm so glad that you have joined us. You're on that path to your success, and I applaud you all for being here today. So thank you.
Thank you. I'm actually getting my experience. My neighbor is elderly and husband has had to go into memory care, but they want to relocate to Orlando. So I found them an agent in Orlando who's helping the wife find a rental while she has time to house hunt, and the husband will be transferred to a facility there in Winter Park. And then I will list their home here. So I, arrange for the home inspection and, they've lived here a long time, so they don't know what they don't know about their house. And so I'm helping with that, and I'm going to help them, figure out moving stuff out and getting rid of stuff. So it'll be all a part of a learning process that will
It is.
help in this field.
One thing, and then we're going to go. Make sure you take video of everything that you're doing for them so that you can create a story from that.
Great. I will.
Like as you're helping them, with a home inspection, like you just pan a couple of rooms, make sure you do that. And then there's some content for you.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah. All right, my friends. Well, it's a great seeing you all today. I hope you have a fabulous February 18th. And I'm always on social media, so you could just hit me up on there. I'll be on there on the couch this afternoon. But I hope you all have a great day. I'll talk to you soon.